Hey guys, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Chris. Every spring, I love to do a vanilla series. Lots of videos featuring the note of vanilla, including really gourmand vanilla fragrances that are great for spring, and then fragrances that feature the note of vanilla that aren't overly foodie. In other words, vanillas for my vanilla haters. Today's video is all about springtime vanillas. Spring is right around the corner, and there are some beautiful fragrances that I'm going to show you today that I think would be fabulous for the spring season that we are moving into. I cover the gamut. I have some more expensive fragrances. I have some more affordable fragrances, some niche, some indie, and a few designers. And with that, I'm just going to dive right in because I have several. Now, when I thought about doing this video, one of the first fragrances I thought of was this beauty right here, because when I think of spring, I think of green vanillas. And this is one of the most beautiful green vanillas on the market. I wish I was smart enough to get all of these fragrances in the old Guerlain packaging. Not only do I think they're a little bit more pretty, I love the sleekness of it all, I love that gold plate, but they were also a lot more affordable. This is Angelique Noire, at least I got this one. So this is a masterpiece vanilla. It's incredibly unique. It is not going to be for everybody, but I think this is so masterful in its design and creation. It's got a note of Angelica. So if this fragrance is hard for you to take, it's going to be because of that Angelica note. And Angelica to me smells like, it's part of the celery family, so it smells like, you know, a peppery piece of celery. So you get that in here, but it's offset with a little bit of pear, a little bit of flowers, a little bit of jasmine, but it's really that Angelica note that comes out the most. And then of course, we cannot forget the beautiful Guerlain vanilla bathing everything. Nobody does vanillas like Guerlain does. Another one of the first ones I thought of when I decided, ooh, I have a big basket over here, decided to do this video was this adorable little guy right here, Harvest Mouse. Now, I have been planning on doing a house overview of Zoologist. I have every single fragrance in the line. I spent so much money to acquire all of those, the samples and the decants and the travels and whatnot. And so few of them are wearable. They go so far out of the box that to me, many times I just think they're not wearable. One of the most wearable ones in the line is cute little Harvest Mouse. And I don't know, I think of this fragrance because it has chamomile in it, hay, beer, vanilla, something green, a little bit earthy, maybe, you know, a little bit mossy, spices, definitely has cloves, maybe something else, but it just smells like you're baking this beautiful, like a beautiful sweet bread, like sweet chamomile bread that you added a little bit of beer in the mix, and you're making it, you know, in a barn, an old barn that has a little bit of woodiness. Maybe it's a little bit dusty, maybe there's a little bit of hay way in the background. I just love this fragrance, and I love that little hint of chamomile. It gives it a beautiful springtime flair, and it's so fun and enjoyable. I need to wear it more. Let's see, another one that is a beautiful green vanilla. Another one that I love in the spring and summer is Vanilla Planifolia by Chloe. I think this is a Quentin Biche creation. The reason why I say it's a green vanilla is because to me it smells like there's a green banana. There's a banana vibe going on in here, but the banana is not overly ripe. You know, it's very fresh. It's on the young side. It's like you take a banana that's green, maybe a little bit green, a little bit yellow, you peel it, and then you pour a little bit of vanilla powder on that banana peel, and you let everything marinate a bit. When you come back a day or two later and you give everything a sniff, you lift up that banana peel, you know, it's going to smell like this beautiful fragrance here. I think this is very angelic. I filmed my angelic video a couple weeks ago, and I better have put this in here, because if not, this is one of the most, you know, angelic fragrances that I own. One fragrance that is very, very pocket friendly is by Rasasi. I think this is Rasasi. Rasasi. This is by the House of Rasasi, and this is called Qasamat Ebhar. This is a very much of a, this is a fruity vanilla, and it's going to put you in the ballpark of something like Casablanca. So very sweet, fruity vanilla. Vanilla, apple, praline, along those lines. And I used to have Casablanca. I actually really like that perfume. I think this one's a little bit more vanillic. Casablanca was a little bit more sweet, a little bit more amber. I didn't need both, and that one went to my niece, my young niece. I think she's in the 7th grade. She was in the 6th grade when I gave it to her. Absolutely loves it. And I didn't need both because they smell very, very similar. And when I wear this, let me tell you, it doesn't project super loudly. Compliment getter. And I think I picked this up several years ago for like $25, $30. This one is such a beautiful fragrance. It doesn't immediately strike me as a springtime vanilla, but I pulled it out of the collection, dusted it off. I've been neglecting this. This is Van Cleef & Arpels Orchidee Vanille. This is my 3rd bottle, and I've been neglecting this. It used to remind me of winter because I think I got this as a Christmas gift long, long ago. One of the first perfumes that Pat ever bought for me. And so I always think of it as, you know, a wintertime vanilla, but I've been wearing it, and it is so beautiful. I actually wore it yesterday, and I went on this long hike. And I went on the hike a little bit too late, and I was really kind of trying to get back quickly because I was in the woods and I didn't want to be there when it was super dark. And so I was walking really fast and jogging. And the only thing that gave me comfort, I was a little bit nervous. I didn't want to get stuck there in the pitch black dark. The only thing that gave me comfort is I was wafting in this beautiful, you know, cloud of Orchidee Vanille. This is another one that is a vanilla for people who don't want something too foody. The vanilla in here is sweet at first, but it's got a lot of other things going on. I think there is like an orchid note, which is a fantasy note, but I get more of a spicy, non-specific floral. When you first spray it, I definitely get orange and chocolate. And that's the most foody. That's the most sweet and foody in the very beginning. That kind of burns off. That chocolate burns off, a little bit of that orange burns off, so then it's not really as foody. And then it becomes this really pretty, floral vanilla. Really, really timeless, really, really elegant. It doesn't last forever on skin, I will say that, but when I spray on clothes, I can get it to last at least 24 hours. Speaking of angelic fragrances, I think 2 or 3 of these was in my angelic video that I've yet to edit. I need to get that. I filmed it over 2 weeks ago and I haven't even edited it yet. One day you will see my angelic video. But this fragrance was in that video, Dave, relatively new to me. This was given to me by the brand, and I am thrilled because, as you know, if you've been following me, I'm a big fan of this brand. They are cleanly formulated and they've never done a full-on gourmand. This to me is a full-on gourmand vanilla. I want to say the notes are like chantilly cream. I know chantilly cream is in here. Of course, vanilla. And I want to say tonka. I get something a little bit almondy in here, like almost marzipan-y. This smells so dang good. I wore this to work twice. Not super loud. People really couldn't smell me until they kind of got right up in my grill, like in, my little zone. And they said I smelled really, really pretty. Very, very light. So it definitely has a sweetness. It has a little bit of that milky sweetness, but, not overly sweet. And I wouldn't care if it's overly sweet. I don't know. I find this incredibly, very easy to wear. I've been loving that one. Another one that's very angelic to me, an angelic vanilla. That is on the pricey side from Mind Games, but I love this. It's angelic. It's very classy. It's year-round. This could definitely be somebody's signature scent. One of the few vanilla fragrances that I think could pass as a signature scent because there's a lot of nice things going on. It's light, it's fluffy, it's airy. Again, very angelic. It has cotton flower or cotton blossom in this fragrance, which gives it a lightness, an airiness, a fluffiness. It has a little bit of greenness. There's apple in here, green apple. So it definitely has a sweet greenness and a little bit of a green woodiness freshness from cypress. So everything comes together. It just blends so perfectly. Such an easy fragrance to love, other than the price for sure. Such an easy fragrance to love. And one of the things that makes that high price tag a little bit more tolerable is that it is definitely a year-round fragrance. But I really think it's going to shine in the springtime and also in the summer for sure. Okay, quick camera battery change. I was talking about Sweet Lure, and what I think I was saying is that it doesn't really smell like any other particular fragrance in one. It smells like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I guess the one perfume it reminds me the most of, even though it really isn't a sister, a twin, or even a cousin, would be Psychedelic Love. But they're both, you know, they're both floral vanillas. Psychedelic Love has a lot more ylang ylang. It's a lot sweeter. It's a lot more powdery. It's a lot more creamy. This one, Sweet Lure, is more fresh. It's more fresh. It's more light. It's more citrusy. It's not as sweet. It's not as dense. This has a lightness to it and a freshness for sure. It almost reminds me of if you're familiar with a perfume I'm about to show, Valkyrie. If you took Psychedelic Love and combined it with the citrusy vanilla that's in Shalimar, you would kind of come up with this perfume. And big bottle was about $100, so I think it's really nice. It's an easy floral vanilla. I think the flower in here is an orchid, which is a fantasy note. It just smells light and pretty and spicy. It's just like a little bit of a spicy flower. It definitely has some greenness in it. So when you first spray it, not only are you going to get citruses, it's either bergamot or lemon, but you're going to get a greenness. And I think that's from Lily of the Valley. And the Lily of the Valley in here, in addition to that spicy floral, is a little bit stemmy in the beginning. So it's green, a little bit stemmy, not quite soapy. And then this other, you know, kind of spicy floral in the background. Maybe this has a splash of some sort of spice like clove. If not, it's probably the orchid, the fantasy orchid accord that's in here. Nice, I'm glad I picked it up. If you have 100 million, gajillion, babillion vanillas, you might think that's a little bit redundant, but I think it's a fantastic vanilla for warmer months, particularly spring. Moving into the summer, why don't I go ahead and talk about this one that I kind of mentioned. This is Valkyrie by Sylvain Delacourte. Sylvain Delacourte used to be with Guerlain for years and years and years. And she's a very famous perfumer. She came up with Insolence by Guerlain, and also the nose behind Gourmand Coquine, which is one of my favorite gourmand fragrances of all time. And she came out with her own line maybe, you know, 4 or 5 years or so. I got all of the discovery sets. There's definitely a very similar DNA running through her fragrances. And so in her entire vanilla line, nothing is really overly foody. It's very fresh. It's very Parisian. It's very chic, but not foody at all. This, to me, smells very fizzy. It almost smells like you took the citruses and the vanilla in Shalimar, pull out the animalic note, so like pull out the leather, pull out the, you know, the jet fuel, pull out the civet, all of that. And so you just took out the delicate citrusy vanilla, and then you added like a, you know, a cream soda or a citrusy cream soda. Very fizzy. So that beautiful citrusy Shalimar vanilla, and then you add like a lime cream soda or a lemon orange cream soda. Very fizzy, very natural, very bright, but definitely this has a fizziness to it. It has a cola vibe, but a light cola vibe, if you know what I'm saying. Not dark cola. Oh my gosh, this makes my mouth water. One of my favorite vanilla fragrances right now, I do baby it because I need to get the bigger bottle, but I don't think this comes in a bigger bottle. This is by Marsté from the beautiful Marlene Estelle, and this is Essence Vanille. I think this is my favorite in the entire line, although I love Essence Sandalwood or Essence Santal. Oh, this is so good. So this has lime, vanilla, and coriander, but what this smells like is if you took lime, like key lime ice cream, and you put it in a spicy graham cracker crust. Let's say you made a graham cracker crust that had coriander in it. Then you baked everything and then you bruleed the top. That's exactly how this smells. Again, I've been talking about all these perfumes and my mouth is absolutely watering. Okay, hopefully that will not smear my lip gloss. Oh, that was so thirsty. So beautiful fragrance, and there's something about the lime in here that makes me think of spring, even though this is 100% year-round. Another beautiful springtime, very elegant vanilla is Dans Paris and by Celine. And I think the reason why this reminds me of springtime is it has like a linden blossom or a laurel blossom. So this beautiful honeyed yellow floral in here, in addition to that divine Celine vanilla that smells, you know, it smells borderline gourmand and it almost smells Guerlain-esque in my opinion. Maybe a little bit of almond, like an almond candy, you know, those like candy coated almonds. I get this in here, but it's powdery, it's musky, it's soft, lightly floral, beautiful, wears lightly and elegant. Boy, I wish these were more affordable. Ani by Nishane or Nishane. I know that people don't talk about these perfumes anymore. I still love 100 Silent Ways, and I still love Ani. So juicy, so zingy, so fun, so mouth-watering, lots of citruses, lots of ginger, spices, very, very spicy. I believe this has cardamom in it, but ginger is really very prominent, and that bergamot lemon goes along so nice with that very creamy vanilla that's in here. And the ginger coriander gives it a zinginess, and this one almost borders on being a little bit fizzy, but not quite. And lasts forever, beautiful, one of my most complimented fragrances. Another beautiful one that is a beautiful fruity vanilla. I talk about this all the time, so I'm not going to go into great detail, but Silk Santal, the Wedding Silk Santal, a beautiful fruity vanilla that I just love. Sugared musk and nectarine and vanilla and soft sandalwood. The notes are always on the back. Yes, I said everything except the sparkling champagne. A little bit of champagne, but the beautiful fruitiness, the nectarine quality, the vanilla, the sugared musk take center stage, and the champagne is in the background. And as you can tell, I just adore this fragrance. Probably should get a 100 ml bottle. And the last one that I'm going to go over is one that I talk about all the time. I'm obsessed with this perfume. It is so delicious, one of my favorite gourmands at the moment. And it is by the House of Fleurit. I talk about this one all the time. This is Gâteau des Anges, which means angel cake. And this is a new bottle to me, and look at it. Look at that dent. And for as big as my collection is, that's a pretty darn big dent, because this is pretty darn delicious. So it has butter in here. It is a buttery fragrance, but it still has a lightness. Another one I believe I put in my angelic fragrances. Has a lovely sweetness to it, like a fruity sweetness, like a little bit of a peach fruity sweetness, like a candied vanilla peach sweetness in when you first spray it, when it first opens up, and then it dries down into this fluffy, buttery, mouth-watering vanilla that is absolutely delicious. And I'm afraid I'm going to run out. I'm gonna pick up, I wish they carried it in bigger bottles, but if you kind of love gourmand vanillas like I do, with a little splash of a fruity sweetness and a beautiful buttery depth without being too heavy, but still maintaining this lightness like an angel cake. Oh, get your nose on this. She does sell samples. And the owner, the CEO, gave my subscribers, my followers, a discount code. Thank you so much. I'm so thrilled. And that was it. My very quick overview of my 15, 16 vanillas, my top choices for spring vanillas during this vanilla series that I will be embarking on. If I did not mention your favorite vanilla to wear during the springtime, and I tried not to do overlap between these vanillas and the non-foodie vanillas, or the Vanillas for Vanilla Haters that I just filmed prior to this one. I really tried not to have any overlap. So between these two videos alone, there's over 30 fragrances that I think are going to be great for the spring and summer as we move along, and that was it. But if I didn't mention your favorite spring vanilla, your favorite vanilla fragrance to wear during the spring, let us all know in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. If you liked my content and you enjoyed spending time with me, I would love a thumbs up. And with that, I will see you on the next one.